High winds continue to threaten fire zones in Southern California as fire crews gain slightly more control on several fronts today.
Life-threatening and destructive and widespread winds are already here. Remain alert as danger has not yet passed.
Massive wildfires have devastated parts of Los Angeles over the past week. The death toll remains at 24. Several thousand residents have been allowed to return home today. Nearly 90,000 people remain under evacuation orders. About the same number are on standby tonight to leave at a moment's notice. Extremely dangerous conditions are expected to last through tomorrow after overnight wind gusts that peaked overnight at over 80 kilometers per hour. Well, Cameron McIntosh is on the ground for us in Malibu at a fire staging zone. Cam, good to see you again. So explain to us a little bit more in terms of where you are, what you're seeing, what people are telling you.
Well, Angie, we're in Malibu along the Pacific Coast Highway. You can see behind me here, there are these fire trucks. Anyone that's ever driven this highway from Malibu into Los Angeles will know there's a bunch of parking lots here along the beach. All of the parking lots are full of fire trucks and National Guard, basically, that are sitting there on standby in the event that these high winds do kick up and start pushing up the fires again. Now, the latest from the National Weather Service in Los Angeles is a tweet on X where they're basically saying that the winds today were weaker than expected, but they're looking for one more enhancement late today and Wednesday, not quite out of the woods yet. So what that means is that they're still fearful that the Santa Ana northeast wind is going to blow in here at velocities of around 100 kilometers an hour. That could potentially kick up embers, that could potentially fuel flames again, and potentially push the fires back into the populated areas that they've been ravaging through so far. So today, a good day in the firefight. The winds weren't as high as expected. The firefighters were able to get some more containment on the fires, but still plenty of danger here. As for what we've been seeing around here, we've been up and down. We've been talking to people very worried that these flames could kick back up. Also, there are just so many first responders here. One of the people that we ran in today was the comedian Jay Leno, who's basically been out bringing food to firefighters and other first responders. Today, we asked him about the impact of all this. His house is safe, but other people he knows have lost theirs. Here's what he had to say.
I just think whatever you can do to help out those that need some help. And just, people want to blame this person or that politician. It's 100-mile-an-hour winds that's on fire. It's a horrible tragedy, and if it brings America together, it's a horrible price to pay, but at least some good. You try to find good in everything, and that's really what it is. I see a sense of community here.
And certainly what we're seeing here is plenty of cooperation, not just with the Los Angeles and the surrounding fire departments, but fire departments that have come in to help from all over the country and from abroad, including Mexico and Canada. We've also run into Canadian crews today, and everyone, really happy to get this bit of a reprieve from the wind, but taking nothing for granted here.
You mentioned the Canadian crews there, Cam. We're going to be speaking with someone later on in the show on that Canadian effort there. But the scene behind you there has got quite the impact, of course. That show of force, those fire trucks all there ready to move at a moment's notice. And as you alluded as well, residents certainly are on edge. What more are they telling you? Perhaps some of those that may have gone back to see what's left of their homes, or perhaps if their homes are safe. But overall, that feeling of uncertainty.
Yeah, not a lot of people have been able to get back in to see what's happened to their homes, but people are definitely getting an idea by seeing the pictures that are coming out from the media and some stuff that's been moving around on social media. Speaking to people, they're still very scared. The sky behind me is blue, it's clear, we can't smell a lot of smoke right now, but there is a danger here, and there is a very potent fear among a lot of people that we've run into that this fire will kick up and houses that haven't been impacted or neighborhoods that haven't been hit yet could still be hit. We spoke to one woman down the highway here in Malibu. She's originally from Oakville, Ontario, and we basically spoke to her about her fears. She's living in an area that's just outside the evacuation zone, but could potentially be hit should these winds start blowing hard enough. Here now is Kim Bubbs.
So it's been very harrowing, very difficult. My daughter's school burned down. So it's hard on the kids, and we've been preparing our house, clearing brush, putting a hose up on the roof, doing whatever you can to try to, mitigate damage or whatever. But yeah, it's been very, very difficult, especially with the looters and the arsonists and people dressing up as firefighters and police. It's very anxiety-inducing.
Now, you just heard her mention arsonists there. 2 people in the Malibu area have recently been arrested for arson. So while there's all this cooperation here and while there is a lot of effort being put into fighting this, there is also a human element out there that is causing a problem here. And, authorities have been trying to be very on top of that with their messaging. If anyone sees anything suspicious, to do something about it, to call it in. As for the fears of people, though, again, it's all resting with the direction of the wind and the speed of the wind and basically what the fire will do next. As I mentioned before, these trucks behind me, just a little bit of an example of the resources that are sitting here. This is all up and down the highway, and if you go into the Palisades community, you'll also see trucks sitting there that have basically been staged in advance in case hotspots come up tonight.
Ready and waiting to act as they need to, as they're watching things minute by minute, hour by hour. Cam, appreciate the incredible coverage you and the team are giving us. CBC's Cameron McIntosh for us.